So, Drac, as we start off episode 7, I want to ask you, what is the strangest guest star on a record in your collection? Because I've got a doozy.
Oh, I do too, actually. I think I have a good one. Yours is a little better than mine. But
Mine was one of those random finds where I was like, I bought the record, and then I was like, wait a second, is that what? But let's start with yours.
Okay. Mine is Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails. Everybody knows who Trent is, right?
Yep.
You don't imagine him singing a type of ballad song, right? Other than, I guess you could say Hurt was a semi-ballad, but it was still a little harder. He guested on Tori Amos's Under the Pink on the song Pass the Mission.
Pass the mission behind the prison tower. Pass the mission. I once knew a hot girl. Pass the mission. The closing every hour. Pass the mission. I smell the roses. She said they all think they know him well.
Where he is singing background with Tori, and it's just very smooth and calm, and he's got like this deep little, and their voices mixed together, and I'm like, who would have thought? Who would have thought Trent Reznor with Tori Amos? But here we are.
These days, it makes a little more sense because he has since expanded to become, like, say, a soundtrack person and things like that. But I bought that record back in high school. And yeah, when I first put that on, I mean, it was Tori Amos, so you weren't expecting Nine Inch Nails. But then to hear Trent Reznor, and then you hear the song that he's singing, and you're like, that is not Nine Inch Nails. So that's about as far from Nine Inch Nails as it's going to get.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Like complete opposite. And then, so there you go. Yours, I gotta say.
So I was at a record fair. I was at one of those hotel room record fairs that will probably do a topic of its own someday. And just on a whim for, I don't know, it was maybe $8-10, I picked up an 80s album of Was Not Was, Born to Laugh at Tornadoes. Now, Was Not Was, of course, is known for Walk the Dinosaur, which is kind of an annoying song, in my opinion, but nonetheless a giganto hit. But this was an indie label release from 1983, and I was like, early? That's really early Was Not Was. What does early Was Not Was sound like? And so I put it on. It was an $8 record, and I started hearing no one other than Ozzy Osbourne coming out of my stereo.
Can't tune the radio to heaven, you can't live 7 lives. You can't win money at the horses, you can't fight the armed forces. Shake your head, shake your head, shake your head. Let's take it back. You can't sing underwater, you can't have the boss's daughter. Shake your head.
And I'm like, what in the... Because at first I was... Because it doesn't
right
sound like a metal song. It's not Was doing a metal song with the guest star of Ozzy. It's total pop dance music with Ozzy singing in a pop dance method. You could almost say he's rapping, but not quite. And it is so weird that I was just like, it wasn't until the chorus hit that I was like, oh my God, this is Ozzy Osbourne. And then I checked the record, and sure enough, guest vocals, Ozzy Osbourne on the song Shake Your Head, Let's Go to Bed. And apparently they liked it so much they did a second version, which seems to dominate the YouTube cliposphere, which features a video with Kim Basinger in it. And I didn't know that existed either. But that's a very different version of the song than the version I have on my record, which is the one we're going to play here.
Wow. In the early 80s, I can only think of like a few reasons why a conglomeration like that would take place.
What you figure? I mean, he was at the height. I mean, was he at the height of his solo career in '83? He's got to have been up there.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
easily. Yeah.
So what's he doing guest starring on a Was Not Was album?
I would love to know the whole backstory on how that happened.
It says it was recorded at some studio in Detroit on top of it, so maybe it was like a tour thing. I mean, Don Was or whatever, I think had his own production career outside of the band, so maybe it had something to do with that or something.
Maybe.